Welcome to Danganronpa 2 with Danganronpa X. As we're reading that still, we're not at the end of it yet. I think you can do that. Goodbye, another great see you tomorrow. Haha! Isn't this all? Isn't this all because Dakota was the first person to smile at you? You, a disappointing, depressing, unladylike, and human killing machine. Despite denying that he was Junko. Monokuma kept speaking at length about Mukuro's past. This, a contradiction, was very much like Junko. And Mukuro was so shaken that all she could do was watch the bear prattle on and on. Only the fit survive in the world. Only thing that other people could do is die, you know. As for Ganon, Makoto died really soon. He won't die. Mukuro's tone of voice had become irregular ever since she took off her Junko leg. Aside from her conversation with Makoto, everything she said as Junko was from a script that her sister had written. But now there was no script for Mukuro to rely on anymore. Mukuro was treating Monokuma like she would treat her own sister. If the other students saw her acting so weak, they'll never believe she was the same person who fought Sakura in the gym. Not just that, if anyone from a mercenary past could see her now, her stark change in attitude might make them think she was someone else entirely. Monokuma continued to rile against Mukuro. That sounds weird out of concept. Nobody's gonna die. I know it's sad. There's so bad. Mukuro wriggled his lips and danced around and pointed right at Mukuro's face. Because Makoto is gonna die by your hands. Huh? And fighting among the tourists. The big bad tourist silences the weak-willed Makoto before he can leak any information. Doesn't happen all the time. In the end, all the desperate things you said in the gym turned out to be lies, all just to escape. I hate his laugh so much. Mukuro frowned at Monokuma. You can't do that, Junko. I won't let you do that. As she blurted out those words in a trembling voice, Mukuro was gripping with confusion about what she just said. Am I defying Junko right now? Why? It was a strange feeling. To Mukuro, it was like she was standing on the ledge of a tall building and imagining what would happen if she jumped. A destructive feeling akin to holding her friend's baby and wondering what would happen if you tripped and fell. Before she knew it, fear and anxiety had suddenly taken control of Mukuro's heart. As a member of Fenrir, as in ultimate despair, Mukuro had killed innumerable people. She'd handled life grenades before. She had descended from the sky in a parachute as anti-aircraft weaponry fired all around her. Her heart never wavered on the battlefield, but now it felt like it could collapse at any second. Monokuma, however, was as stable as a tree and slightly tilted his head to the side. Huh? Weren't you listening to my story? I'm not the one who's gonna kill Makoto. You are. Wait, what are you saying, Junko? Monokuma began giving strange explanation to a very confused Mukuro. Do you know what the suspension bridge effect really means? It means you can push the bridge and you level the bridge, and it'll be yours for eternity. Yeah, Makoto is not the great main character. I haven't heard about that at all. Life isn't always all what your textbooks say. It's sad, but that's what love is. His words made no sense, and Mukuro couldn't think of anything to say. She stood there dumbfounded. Meanwhile, Monokuma continued his little speech, intentionally saying things meant to antagonize Mukuro. Basically, this is your big chance, you know. If you kill Makoto here now, nobody will ever take him away from you again. Makoto Naegi, dead by dawn. The last name he ever spoke was Mukuro Ikasaba. The last person he ever spelled out was Mukuro Ikasaba. Doesn't that sound wonderful? There was a certain appeal to Monokuma's twisted suggestion, and Mukuro found herself unsure of her own judgment. This is wrong. It has to be wrong. But it's really Junko saying all this? So that doesn't mean it's right? No, this isn't Junko. It's Monokuma. Monokuma. Are you sure you want to help Makoto? Once he gets better, he'll get to know everything. He'll know what you did to your classmates. I can't believe you actually erased your friend memories of their time together and forced them to kill each other. Makoto might get mad at you and say our real enemy isn't the bear, it's her. Do you really want him to blame you for this? Muguru's face turned pale. And are you gonna kill the others? If everyone except you and Makoto dies, you'll be able to spend the rest of your school life together. We can't hold a class trial with only 2 people. It might be a good idea for you both to live the rest of your lives in this academy forever. No, that's wrong. And what are you gonna do if his memories return? It's not like you're dating Makoto or anything. You're just watching him from afar the whole time. Man, you're so shy. You can shoot people's hearts and brains, no problem, but you can't even woo some stupid boy into liking you? Do you want to know who Makoto had a crush on before his memories were taken? Ooh. Meguro trembled as Monokuma continued pressing the issue, gradually losing the screws keeping her heart secure. So Meguro chose to pretend she didn't hear anything at all. All emotion vanished from her face as she looked silently for Makoto's e-handbook. If you're looking for his blood type, it's not written in the handbook. Maguro's face turned pale. Well, within 5 seconds, her plan to ignore Monokuma had already failed. But since her headmaster is made up of 50% kindness, I'll tell you anyway. Makoto's blood type is B. As soon as she heard him say that, all the anxiety, horror, hostility, malice, and dread turning within Meguro had completely vanished. Thank you, Junko! Muguru's eyes sparkled without a hint of suspicion, so she turned her back to Monokuma without a hint of suspicion. Going towards the refrigerator containing the blood packs. Fresh blood packs should have prepared before the plan took effect. They'll last in cold storage for 21 days. Days should still be good. Despite her motionless face, Meguro let herself feel a small amount of satisfaction as she took a blood pack from the refrigerator. As Monokuma watched her, her normal motionless eyes twitched ever so slightly. If a third party could see his face right now, or even if the other students could see his face right now, they wonder, is Monokuma surprised? That's right, they had the same shocked face on their faces as they were seeing Monokuma for the first time. At that moment, a whisper crept out of Monokuma's emotionless face. There should be a limit of how disappointing you can be. It was a far quieter than a mosquito's wings. Even with her battle hard hearing, Meguro can hear what they said. Monokuma shook his head and his voice returned to normal. It's not like I care that you, the ultimate despair, has hope in anything. It's not like I expect much from you to begin this. No, I always hope with me, felt despair. But seriously, you disappoint me. Just so you know, despair and disappointment are completely different things, okay? They're different as bears and pants. There is kind of a difference, but not a difference at the same time. Because panda is a type of bear, and what are you? Muguru's body started to shake as she turned to look at Monokuma. He hadn't started talking any different than usual. Junko had turned off the voice modulator and started talking her real voice or anything. Meguro was utterly terrified. She was terrified on instinct, not as a soldier. Half the reason she was terrified was because of her instincts as the ultimate despair, and the other half was because she was Junko's older sister. Even though Monokuma, her instincts were telling her that Junko was annoyed with her. Junko? Why are you annoyed? Is it because I betrayed you? Or is it because I didn't die like you wanted me to? I'm beyond annoyed. I'm really really angry, and I'm really disappointed right now. I'm so pissed. I can take a rage nap right now. Monokuma's anger didn't seem any different from his usual anger towards the students, but Mukuro can distinctly sense another emotion mixed with it. Right now, she can feel that Junko was feeling hopeless disappointment. It's normal for someone who's disappointed to lose hope, but ultimate disappointment, means something else entirely. To them, disappointment was tantamount to losing despair itself. Mukuro was a member of Ultimate Despair. At her sister's behest, Mukuro has soiled her hands many times in order to fill the world with despair. Despite her pride towards being a member of Ultimate Despair, there was a clear difference between Mukuro and her sister. Junko Inishima was despair incarnate. She was born in despair, letting it infect other people's hopes so it would rot them from the inside out, twisting them into her own image. For Junko, feeling hope was his own despair. Creating despair and others creating despair in herself, which caused her to feel both intense pain and intense bliss. Junko had watched the fracture caused from the conflict between pleasure and penitence all her life. Eventually, the fracture would widen until it swallowed the world and tore it in half. But Mukuro, on the other hand, had neither hope nor despair for the world. At least not when she was a member of Fenrir. Ever since she was a child, Mukuro believed she was meant to spread despair because of her sister. She didn't harbor any ill will towards the world, she simply accepted she was meant to spread despair towards to walk the same path as her sister. The doubt she felt was a recent development. When Junko told her about the plan, when she watched the world burn at the hands of terrorists wearing Monokuma masks, she never wavered once. However, as soon as she heard about her sister's plan to kill their classmates, kill each other, Makoto included, a strange feeling began to stir within her. What started as a seed of doubt soon grew into a thorny vine ensnaring at Mukuro's feet. As soon as she disguised herself as Junko and finished reading the other students, as soon as she was confirmed that everyone's memories had been completely taken away, that vine began tightening around Mukuro's heart. They're gone. Junko's the only one who knows about me now. That's it. But there's no problem. It's just like old times. Things will never go back to how they used to be, but that's fine. This should be fine. She had replenished the past 2 years she had spent with her friends so she could portray them, and deliver death and despair onto them. Though her heart ached, Mukuro was beyond feeling guilt or remorse for her actions. But the question, why does my heart ache like this, still remained unanswered. Perhaps that's why she spent so much time talking to Makoto when he was in the nurse's office. When Makoto gave her that one peculiar answer, something changed inside her. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. The words Mukuro blurted out to Makoto weren't improvising further her role as Junko. It was an honest sentiment from the bottom of her heart. She was even pointing at Junko herself if Makoto could somehow be spared from her plan. Over the past 2 years, Mukuro's interests have been slowly shifting away from her sister and towards the world itself. By extension, her interests also included Makoto, the first person to ever smile at her and make her feel connected to the world. He was like a sapling of pure honesty that has taken root in Mukuro's heart. But by the time she realized that, the tree had already rotted. As Mukuro struggled to understand the situation, Monokuma let out and said, I wonder what part of you is a wolf anyway. You're just a dog that blindly follows Junko's orders. What does that tattoo in your hand even mean? Are you just a bitch whose pleasure lies to your honor? I bet Toko would say that, I'm positive. Monokuma continued to talk as Mukuro stood in confusion. I was obviously lying when I said Makoto's blood type is B. What? Mukuro, cried Mukuro. You lied, Junko. A normal person would have been suspicious. I never thought you actually believed me just now. I must have misplaced my eyes because I totally did not see that coming. Not even with my ability to predict the future. How shocking. Jeez, I'm about to start crying my eyes out like some kind of robot cat. Seriously. It's gonna be okay, Junko, said Mukuro. I know our plan kind of fell apart, but I'm still on your side. Are you feeling alright? Because I'll do anything. Snap. A harsh sound came from Monokuma's mouth. That sound was one of my circuits overloading. It's been so long since I felt this angry. Meet me on the roof of the school. I'll smash out all your baby teeth. Monokuma started shadowboxing in front of Mukuro, who remained frozen in place, clutching the blood pack in her hand. Alright, this is gonna be a short one. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time. Bye!